What's going on, everybody out there, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Dark Avenger comic book review. This is episode 559.
Yes, one more.
As we episode marathon. 560 is going to be tomorrow. That's how we start tomorrow off. But tonight, we're talking about books released in this episode, 559, March 11th, 2026. We have one digital book in the middle of these. It's an independent, but we're going to start with A Quiet Place, issue number 1. If you like The Quiet Place, the movies, I would recommend checking this book out. I liked it.
Yeah, I did hear about that, actually.
And if you think you're going to go into this and there's not going to be dialogue, there's a lot of dialogue. But it's really good. Again, one of two books I get from Dynamite, Space Ghost, issue number 9. I've been loving Space Ghost. It is an excellent, excellent, excellent series. Something worth checking out if you haven't been already. Transformers, issue number 30. A huge change happens here. Optimus Prime relinquishes the Matrix to this Autobot and no longer is Optimus Prime. She takes the Matrix, she goes back to Cybertron to lead the Autobots because Optimus is staying on Earth to stop Megatron, so he decides to give up the Matrix to somebody else to lead Cybertron while he stays on Earth to fight Megatron, and of course he downgrades a bit. I don't know how I feel about that, but I guess I have no choice but to wait and find out what happens next.
All New Harbinger, issue number 2 of 3, It Never Stops, part 2 of 3. And what I liked about this comic book is that Faith actually appears in this comic, and she looks great in this issue, actually, from what I remember from the Valiants before that. And we get more superheroes with their powers, like trying to figure out what they have with this whole case thing of what happened from the first issue. But really great stuff in All New Harbinger. If you've been reading all along, you'll definitely enjoy the book, and if not, then you'll not know what's going on. But really great stuff.
TMNT issue number 16, we find out that the friend is Casey Jones. I mean, you see it on the cover. The Turtles try to stop their father, and things start to go awry. But we will be talking about that. I believe actually issue 17 came out this past Wednesday, so we'll talk about issue 17 soon. But let's just say that Casey ends up being spared, and the Turtles kind of save their dad from making an egregious mistake. We're now in Marvel, Venom 55, which is part 3 of 9, 1/3 of the way through Death Spiral. Good stuff. Again, Death Spiral all to me came together, but I believe Carnage shows up in Venom.
He does.
So this is the part where Carnage jumps into the mix. Logan, Black, White, and Blood, again, issue number 3. Again, a bunch of different stories in black, white, and red. If you like Logan, if you like Wolverine, you'll be checking this book out. If you don't, you won't. I have been loving the series. I love Black, White, and Blood books. So Logan is definitely one of my top 5s.
Daredevil and Punisher, issue number 5. If you've been reading this all along, you'll definitely enjoy the team up between Daredevil and the Punisher. Lots of amazing, cool stuff actually happens in this issue, and I don't want to spoil anything, even though it's already been out. But there's some really great stuff that happens in this issue, and I've been loving these issues of Daredevil and Punisher.
I believe this is the last issue.
I think it was last issue, if I remember correctly, from the ending. Great stuff. Highly recommend you check it out from start to finish.
You'd think this was the last issue, but there's one more to go. The End, 2099, issue number 4. Is this going to be the end of 2099? You have to wait to find out. More heroes get saved, and there's a twist at the end, and we get to see Defenders, 2099. I can't say I've been because it's over now, but at this point, when this issue came out, I've been enjoying the miniseries. It's definitely fun. It makes you wonder, well, what's going to happen after this? Are we going to get 3099? I don't know. But I won't talk about it until we get to the last issue. So we're in DC Comics now. Absolute Green Lantern, issue number 12. It's an enjoyment. This is the end of the first, well, I want to say it's the end of the first year. I want to remember something real quick. I normally won't do this. I'm sorry. I just want to remember the ending real quick. Yes. So this is the end of the first, I guess, year's worth of books. Tomar Ray we see at the end of the issue, who is the one that's been giving visions to not only the main character but other people. We get to see a death in this book, and this definitely sets the stage for Act 2, I guess, when it comes to Absolute Green Lantern. Really enjoyed it a lot. The continued fight between Poison Ivy and Batman in Absolute Batman issue number 18. Excellent stuff. Artwork got a bit muddy for me in this issue, though.
Muddy?
Tiny bit muddy for me. It kind of like, because of the way Poison Ivy was, it kind of like blended a couple of like panels
Well, she's
together.
Poison Ivy.
It was
Maybe
a little.
it was just because of the character.
Rough. Guy Gardner Born Again. That Green Lantern Corps issue number 14. Again, if you've been reading Green Lantern right along, you understand why Green Lantern Corps is amazing. I've been loving it. Guy Gardner is definitely a focal point of this issue. Really good stuff. Definitely something to check out for sure.
DCXAEW issue number 2. The cover says it all. Lex Luger and... Lex Luthor. Sorry.
WCW,
but it's Lex Luthor and the woman who you see on the cover. They took over all of the DC AEW universe. They're trying to find out, the good guys, about how they can get back at them, because we all know good always will conquer evil. So really great stuff. If you're a DC and AEW fan, you'll definitely check out that comic book.
And the search for Superman starts here. Superman Action Comics, issue number 1096. 3 heroes from the present end up in the past with Superboy. And we find out who at the end of this issue. But till then, we get to see Superboy being Superboy until then. And now Superboy's going to have to help them find a way back to the present. And there's also a robot that starts to that attacks Superboy and Smallville, and it's going to be up to him and the heroes that came through from the future, from the present to the past, to stop them. To be continued. Action Comics, really good, and it's again the start of Superman. You know, the search, like they say, the search for Superman. And I don't want to say who yet, but when we get to the next Action Comics, I will talk about one character that actually is part of this story arc. But till then, that was it for this episode. Stay tuned tomorrow as we get to 560 and 561 as we marathon through more books. We have 6 more episodes to go, so 3 more days of comic reviews. Stay tuned. Till then, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting. We will see all of you really soon in the next episode.
Take care.